Prudence McInerney. So the glamour is all around us. A beautiful day as we get set to go racing with the Pocket Rockets, the Aussie racing cars. And to take you through this one in commentary, Bradley Jones has joined Aaron Noonan.
I thought, Matty, you're going to say that Brad's a pocket rocket himself, but we're going to get set for race 3. They've already had 2 this weekend, and Trent Young, Brad, has been the 4-man. He's fastest in qualifying, 2 race wins, and he starts on pole for this race. Would you believe this? There are 47 cars on the grid. It's a record for Aussie racing cars.
And they're like bumblebees. The racing has been fantastic, as it always is with these little cars, and I think we're going to be in for a crack at it, 8.
Clark Quinn has joined the field. He's the current leader in the Australian GT Championship, but he's driven in this category before, but his family now owns and runs the series, but it's the first time he's had a steer in a little while. This grid graphic will keep going. There are that many cars. We go all the way back through the order to 47. That's where we find Jeff Waters, who will round out the field for this 3rd race of the weekend. It's the penultimate round in the Aussie racing cars. We have had a massive gap since we saw them last at Winton in August, but it's a 6-round series. Championship is on the line, and Maurice Massini leads the points coming into this weekend, but the cars are being let onto the track. When we come back to the Gold Coast, we'll get a race start. Welcome back. Earlier in the weekend, some 3,000 school kids were here at the Umbrel Gold Coast 600, and they were asking the hard questions at the regular V8 Junior press conference with Garth Tander and Lee Holdsworth, Fabian Coulthard and Scotty McLaughlin, who himself is not that far out of school. But they asked some really hard questions. Maybe a few investigative reporters for the years to come in and among that group. Brad Jones, as we get set for Aussie racing cars. It's race 3, round 5 of the championship, and Trent Young is on pole. He's been the 4-man. Look at this field. They are lined up all the way back down towards the final turn. Tyler Rolls on the front row of the grid. His first start of the season, runner-up in the championship last year. Let's see if he can steal a win away. The little motorcycle engine races are let loose on the Gold Coast. 12 laps ahead, but Owen's gone nowhere.
Not sure what happened there. Maybe a little bit of wheel spin, or he might have grabbed a second gear a little bit early or something, but he has really dropped back through the field, and
he's
way
a pretty
back.
Tough break. He's back to about 7th or 8th place. Look at them all still on charging towards the first chicane. It is an angry ant field. Look at this. Oh, no. Massive, massive crash on the exit of the chicane. There are cars everywhere. Whoa. Oh, this is bad. This is nasty. There's cars strewing all across the road.
Oh,
that is Clark Quinn in the number 6 car, the high-tech machine.
And he was out of 14, so
it's mid-pack. And look at that. That has ripped away all of the bodywork, but that goes to show you exactly what these cars look like under the skin, but they're built tough.
He's to unplug his radio. He won't be going anywhere. He doesn't look too happy.
One way to do it when you're unhappy. Adam Ubergang was another of the drivers in there in the 63 car. That's Gus Robbins in 17.
Obviously not enjoying the way that chat went.
He's good to go, though. Have a look at that. And I think that's Darren Chamberlain. It was really hard to tell because there was nothing left of the bodywork. That's Clark Quinn. He's okay. Cars are damaged. And, of course, safety car is now out onto the road as the recovery crews clean up what was going on here. Now, in fact, car 30, Grant Ludby, was the car that, well, is now not much of an Aussie racing car. It's a chassis. All the panels, all the bodywork has been ripped off, and the field has come around. Let's have a look, Brad. Here we go. First chicane. Oh, there it is. It was just at the top of shot. And it was right in the middle of the pack. This is on board with Clark Quinn. Puts a move on Dean Cottrell. Oh, squeezed in front. Nowhere to go.
Well, Robbins has definitely given him a bit of a squeeze into the fence there, and you can see why he's agitated. I'd be pretty upset with that as well. And look at the damage. And
they just come to a standstill, Brad. They don't spin down the road.
The problem here is
We knew it was coming, and it was worse. Oh. The good news is, though, that by the looks of things, everyone stepped out of their cars. Gus Robbins is up the inside here on Ludby.
Well, he's hit the curb to start with. He's bounced across the road, but now he really needs to, you know, he's trying to get the car back under control, and he's just fenced him, basically.
And Ludby was off the ground. He couldn't steer it.
And that's a problem with this. You need to give each other a bit of racing room. And unfortunately, I think Robbins has hit that curb. The thing's had a bit of a bounce. You know, Clark Quinn, wow, look at that damage. Aren't these shots just unbelievable?
Unbelievable. That has completely stripped Grant Ludby's car. Safety car is out. We'll take a break and clean it all up. A brutal start to Aussie racing cars on the Gold Coast. Well, we started with 47 Aussie racing cars. We are down to 38. We've eliminated a whole pile of cars in a major accident. Safety car's been on the road, but we're set for a restart as Young and Nathan Townsend, this depleted field, back around to the control line. Double file restart in this third race of the weekend. It's the 5th round of the championship, the Aussie Racing Cars Super Series here on the Gold Coast. And they're slowing them right on down before they get back underway. Wait, there's the green flag. Now we can get going. So we head to the first chicane, and Trent Young will lead us down there, and that's Tyler Owen trying to squeeze his way down the inside on, I think it was Brendan Pingle who won the last round at Winton. Now, they didn't get through the chicane first time around. Do we get through under green flag conditions second time around? So far, so good. All a little more circumspect after that opening lap crash that's eliminated, well, directly 4 or 5 cars, but indirectly a few more that were caught up in the debris and the damage that unfolded. It's back in the pack, but at the front, Trent Young, Nathan Townsend pushing clear. Travis Edwards next from Simon Young. Hayden Stevenson is right in there as well.
Front 7 cars weren't part of that, so they'd just be pressing on and not thinking about it too much. Got one cutting the chicane.
They just keep on coming. It is a massive, massive field. Well, it's back at its normal size, but not the way that we were hoping that it would happen. But Trent Young, they've got to catch this guy. He's smashed them all weekend with pole position and 2 race wins. There's Maurice Massini, car 80, the VIP Pet Foods car. He leads the championship coming into this weekend, clear of Townsend and Darren Chamberlain, who is way back in the pack. He started a long way back on the grid, and he runs 38th, but I'd say he was involved in that drama. Look at the slipstream benefit that these cars gain. They're only small. They don't punch a big hole in the air, but it all has an effect. Look, there's 3 wide to the chicane.
They are amazing, aren't they?
Tyler Owen trying to get a move on Simon Smith. And Owen is driving one of those new style cars, Brad. It was Euro GT cars. Now, this was why the safety car was out. First chicane, first Grant Ludby in the yellow car, Gus Robbins in the black car.
Now, watch Lumpy when the car is still spewing water out of it and exploding. Watch his hands and watch his eye contact with Robbins in the 17 car.
He's just basically run him out of road there.
Yeah.
And, of course, Ludby. Clark Quinn's in the red car.
How hard does Clark Quinn hit him?
And the bodywork rips apart, so it exposes the chassis underneath, which has done a great job to protect its driver.
See, Ludby's just got hold of the bottom of the steering wheel, just waiting for the whole thing to stop, working out exactly what's going on.
And about now he knows who to blame,
because
he can see him. And while it's still spinning and moving and spewing coolant out the front, and the crash is unfolding behind, look, he's got eye contact now. What are you doing? What have you done to me?
Which is amazing when you think there's still, 30 cars really to come past.
And this was when he unplugged.
A lot of damage to that car.
And one very unhappy driver and went across to have a little chit-chat. But meanwhile, back up the front, the racing is still pretty spicy. That's Tyler Owen, last year's championship runner on the move forward in that new body style car, and plenty happening with Aussie racing cars. New car, which is this Euro GT. They had their own car of the future, essentially, that was introduced here last year with the Holden Cruise bodywork, and they're actually building a new facility opposite Movie World here in the Gold Coast that'll become the new home of Aussie racing cars in and among an attraction park that Tony Quinn is putting together. So between that and his new track in New Zealand, Highlands Motorsport Park, he's got plenty going on, and we're losing more cars by the lap. That's Mark Griffith being pushed away, another of the new spec cars, so they're dropping like flies today. We've seen Mark race in the Australian GT Championship. He's been a backer of Jack Perkins over the course of the last 12 months or so, but Trent Young out in front pushing there. 2 seconds in front, Brad. That's a massive margin in this series.
It is. We've had Tyler Owen keeping him honest most of the weekend, but unfortunately in this race, with a bad start, he's back in the pack a little bit, and it's allowed Young to just skip away a little bit.
This is Maurice Massini trying to work his way up the field. Championship leader, yellow flag on display there for that stop car on the run up towards the beach chicane. There it is. It's out of harm's way. Green flag means get on with the racing from here on in.
And Tyler Owen is, one of the fastest cars on the circuit, if not the fastest car on the circuit at the moment. He's certainly put a gap between these two, and he's trying to chase down the car in front of him, which is Townsend. The danger with these little cars is when you get caught in a battle, you lose so much time.
And this gives you the idea of just the way these things rock and roll around here. And I spoke to the category on Friday night. They made less than 13 engine changes because the track's so tough on the gear, and even changing track surfaces. The little cars, and they're being driven really hard.
Really hard.
Just hearing from race control too, Brad, that this will be the final lap, so time is ticking in the chase for Trent Young and stopping his unbeaten streak this weekend.
And look how he picks the throttle back up before he actually turns the car into the corner. He's back on the throttle, so he's got the ability to steer and drive that car. Massini still having a crack at Stevenson here. Not much time to go. They'll have got on the radar that this is the last lap, and if he gets an opportunity, he needs to try and pick on it. And he's perfectly placed down the inside. Very nicely executed by Massini.
That gets him to P4, so the great thing about Aussie racing cars is don't apply the championship points until they form the round order, so it keeps it really tight. It will go all the way to Sydney Olympic Park in the final round at the Sydney 500 in December, but this man is looking the goods. Trent Young, no one could touch him. It was a bit of a wild race start, but he has been untouched right throughout it all. He will come on home and pick up 3 from 3. There's the checkered flag in this slightly shortened race. Nathan Townsend, that's good news for his championship. He's home in second. Tyler Owen managed to recover after that slow start and came on home in third. But as always, Aussie racing cars do deliver.
Oh, that was a fantastic race. Really, really action-packed.
So Trent Young will lap it up. Just to recap, there is the order. Simon Smith in 6th from Damian Ward, Travis Edwards, Craig Woods and Sam Milton rounded out the top 10. 1 round to go. We look forward to seeing them back on the streets of Sydney in a couple of months' time.